I had a girlfriend I dated 3 years ago. Her name was Sydney. But one day, she started to be so clingy towards me. She asked me hundreds of times every day if I love her, and I was so tired that I eventually dumped her. She then sent me one text message and moved to a city far away.
Take care, honey. Let's meet in 3 years.
Then she changed her phone number, and like that, I thought I'd never see her again. 3 years have already passed since then, and I was in love with a new woman. I became a recognized employee in my company, and everything was going well. I had completely forgotten about my ex-girlfriend until the day came. One day, I heard a knock on the door, and when I opened the door, she was standing there. My ex, Sydney. I got goosebumps. How did she find my house? But what terrified me even more was her face. Her jawline was severely reshaped, making it look as if she had no jaw. Her nose was absolutely pointy, as if the implant was going to pierce out of her skin at any moment. Her eyes, forehead, cheeks, and all parts of her face reshaped abnormally. It was just like a scene from a horror movie. The only way I could recognize her was by the tattoo on her neck. It was a tattoo she got in the past that read, "You have to love me." Then she suddenly jumped at me, grabbed me by my neck, and shouted,
How do you like my face? Now do you love me?
Her jaw was crooked, and she seemed to be unable to pronounce words well. She stammered. I was so surprised that I asked her why the hell she is doing this, but she just kept repeating the same thing over and over again.
Now do you love me, or don't you love me?
Finally, I shoved her away and went into the house, and she kept knocking on the door for a long time. I ended up calling the police. It turned out that she had received over 100 illegal plastic surgeries since we broke up. She endlessly asked doctors for ridiculous, strange surgeries, and her face turned grotesque by getting surgery in an illegal way, after all. That's how she continued to come to my house and hover around in front of it. She shouted at me.
Why? Is it still not enough? Should I lift my nose more? Shall I enlarge my eyes more?
She screamed madly. After a while, she left a small note in front of my house, and the note said,
Please come to my place one last time. Then I will leave you forever.
I went to the address she wrote, and there was a small, shabby house. The front door was slightly open, and I peered through the door. Then I saw a silhouette of a woman standing in the living room. I opened the door, thinking it was her, and she shouted,
How do you like me now? Don't you think I'm beautiful? Love me now!
But the woman was not Sydney. It was a Barbie doll the size of a real woman. Sydney held the doll from behind and pretended to be the doll. I was startled, and then I saw that she was holding the doll's hand and holding a knife as well. She shouted as she ran over to me with the doll.
It's not the looks, it's the heart that matters!
She swung the knife at my chest, and I barely managed to escape and ran outside. I ran away like crazy and called the police. Later on, she was arrested by the police, and it turned out that she had been suffering from a very serious mental illness. What was even more shocking was that she had asked the plastic surgeon to transplant her heart into the body of a Barbie doll. When the doctor said no, she said to the doctor,
Then I'll bring you a man. So take out his heart and attach it to mine.